Throughout Trump's entire presidency, the media has focused on what Trump may do as compared to what he has done. Trump colluded with Russia. Trump will destroy our country and the economy. Trump will get us into war with North Korea. Trump will cheat in this next election. All of these things are speculative opinions by people that never wanted Trump to be president to begin with. Many patriots wonder how the media can get away with what seems like an unlawful act. But the truth is, media propaganda is very legal. In 2013, Obama signed H.R. 4310, a National Defense Act known as the Schmidt-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012. This bill legalized the use of propaganda on the American people. This bill would have to go through Congress now in order to change it, and it's virtually impossible with such an obstructive Congress. The dictionary definition of propaganda is the spreading of ideas, information, or rumors for the purpose of helping or injuring an institution, a cause, or a person. The truth is, it is always used to control either what you know or establish fear. It was never based on fact, and it relies on your trust in the source it comes from. Propaganda is just enough true to engage your attention, but the problem with half-truths is you never know what half you were given. However, propaganda is easy to spot if you maintain an open mind and realize the information given is always based on speculation, possibility, and what-ifs. When many institutions push the same information, it creates a more realistic and widely accepted scenario, and this is how propaganda gets its power, even if it conflicts with something that was previously said.
Banning all travel from Europe or any other part of the world may slow it, but as we've seen, it will not stop it. And travel restrictions based on favoritism and politics rather than risk will be counterproductive.
You know, we need to get in motion. Get in motion today what we should have set in motion weeks ago.
We want to be careful about how we deal with it, but we do want to say to people, come to Chinatown. Here we are. We're, again, careful, safe, and come join us. But as the president fiddles, people are dying, and we just have to take every precaution.
Another form commonly used, like against Justice Kavanaugh, is called the wrap-up smear, which is explained here by House Speaker Pelosi.
You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this, so they have that validation.
Although propaganda has always existed, it has become more apparent over the last 4 years, and even more so since this pandemic began. Understandably, we all want our people to be healthy and safe, but the models that they use to create this panic are a perfect example of speculation and what-ifs. Anyone who lives on the coast understands how inaccurate models can be. Every summer we may hear for 3 days to be prepared for a major hit, but those predictions change constantly until the day the hurricanes make landfall. Where facts are indisputable, no matter how you look at it, predictive models are not facts, and it is irresponsible to portray them in such a level of certainty. In the last month, the media has utilized a common world threat to push fear on the population. They took advantage of an issue that is out of our control to gain control. As a consequence, our country shut down, our economy dropped out, and worst of all, local governments have stomped all over our Constitution. Propaganda takes advantage of a person's natural fear of the unknown, knowing completely what people are willing to give up in order to keep their families safe. Benjamin Franklin said, "Those that are willing to give up freedoms for temporary safety deserve neither freedom or safety." Although I understand why people are afraid, it was extremely frightening to see how easily people surrendered their rights, and even more so, how easy it was for some of our state governors to remove those rights. Propaganda is a psychological tool that generally plays on a person's emotions, most commonly anger or fear. Although it is easier to see the effects of current media and political propaganda, we do not always see the long game effects that have subtly planted seeds of thought over a longer time span, setting the stage for the panic they plan to create for a future agenda. As I researched this virus, I found a perfect example of the long game that I'm referring to. On January 20th, 2017, Dr. Anthony Fauci warned publicly that there would be a surprise outbreak specifically during the Trump administration. Then on October 18, 2019, in New York City, Bill Gates held a pandemic simulation called Event 201. This event created simulations of a major pandemic and the effects that it would have on the population and its economy. On multiple occasions, Gates has verbalized his desire for population control, and has admitted vaccines have been used for this purpose. The same man that is working on the vaccination for this virus refuses to let his own children get vaccinations of any kind. However, the strangest connection goes back 20 years. On February of 1997, George Magazine had an issue called Survival Guide to the Future. The articles were written from the perspective of what would happen 20 years down the road. One of the articles even stated we should open this magazine in 20 years to see how it worked out, and referred specifically to the words, "You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometime, you find you get what you need," which, as we all know, ended up being Trump's rally song. One article was about the indictment of Hillary Clinton, who is now under a civilian microscope. But the article that connects to today's events was about Bill Gates and a virus pandemic that would attack the lungs and sweep through the nation, having a devastating effect on our economy. The definition of a coincidence is a remarkable occurrence of events or circumstances without a causal connection. I do believe that some things are in fact just a coincidence. But the moment these events start making connection with other connections, it is no longer a coincidence. No matter how you look at it, propaganda has been the most dangerous part of this pandemic. The panic is created will have irreversible social effects moving forward. This is why we need to never forget what it is like to lose these freedoms. As well, a valuable lesson to those who support socialism as to what it is really like to live in a socialistic society. As an optimistic person, I always find something to be thankful for, no matter how bad things get. As an author who genuinely loves you all, I will never end a video with a negative tone, no matter what the topic. So whenever you are down, remember that God created warriors to fight. It was the devil that manufactured fear to control. No matter how many shadows of doubt the devil creates through deception, truth will always be easy to find. Because the Almighty Lord is truth and light does not have a shadow for anything to hide behind.